And then, so let's go to a clean tab. Let me show you first how to create some price list, and then we will do some maintenance on existing price lists. So to create new price list, again, you can do exactly the same like customer wizard. You can type, you can copy paste, you can use formula as I did here. You can use all your standard Excel functionalities. And of course, you can also download an old price list to just mimic and create a new one. So I can say, oh, I would like to mimic this price list. I will just copy paste it in here. And then I will use download.
Hoe maak ik dit bij de andere?
So here I'm using the download via sheet. I just copy paste one old price list on the sheet, and then I will just imitate to create a new one. So let's say I'm just going to change the name. I'm going to call it ICU, and then I'm going to call it 10. And then what I need to do when I want to imitate an old price list is removing the header ID, because of course we want to create a new price list, so we will create new ID. So I need to remove this at the header level and also at the line level, so the list line ID. So that's about it. I need to do this, and of course I need to change the name, because if I put an existing name, the wizard will tell me, oh, this price list already exists. So here, yes, you can just copy paste an existing price list, download it, and then just change the name and re-upload. Of course, if you have a slight difference, like the effective date from, you can also change that. You can say, oh, mine is going to start there. And then you can also, if you need to change and put a different item, you can also do this. So if I don't know the item, I can bring up the user form, double click anywhere, or clicking at the top here. You also have this form button.
Yes.
So it will give you also the different forms that are available in this wizard. So what is great, when you click on this, you can take a look at the list of values. So when you're not sure about a list of value, you can just bring up the user form. You can search. If you put a percentage, it will increase your search capability. You can put only a percentage if you want to search for all, and then click on the dots to retrieve your item, and then choose an item. And you can do this also for the unit of measure. Sometimes it's way more convenient to take a look on this. And actually also what is nice is that you can go to the next section form from here. So if you click on pricing attributes here, it will take you to the section pricing attributes, and it will bring up the user form straight away for this line and this section. So here I can say, oh, I want also to add a pricing attribute. I would like to add an administration cost on this particular line, and it will be $10. So see, I downloaded an existing price list, and then I'm just doing a few modification on this price list, because my new price list is not going to be exactly the same, but it saved me a lot of time to start from an existing one.
Yeah.
And here, when I close the user form, it actually provides validation. So here it's telling me that the start date of list lines should be within June 19, because I change also the date at the header level. So of course, here it's gonna want me to change it too. So I can put the same date for all of these. So
Okay, yeah, and that was because you closed that form. It already checked what you entered.
exactly. When we close any form, it provides validation. It does the same also with Customer Wizard. This is something that we added on this new version.
Yeah.
When you close a form, it provides validation for the row you were working on. So it's also something that helps when you're entering your data set. And as I said, you can also access the forms from here.
Oh, so okay. Only what I also missed here is here you don't have the denormalization button, right?
Yeah, we do not have this on this one.
No.
Is this something that you think you would need?
I'm not sure because you do have the price per item, right? So, oh yeah, I thought I was looking for a way of checking per item in which price list they were, and then they would also skip a line. But I'm not so sure what to do with this yet, but it was to maybe check that I wanted to see if we have too many prices.
Okay. Yeah, this is definitely
sometimes there's
I wanted to show you this actually. Yeah, it's actually something people ask for. Yeah, it seems to be useful. So
yeah, because I noticed that for a certain item, I saw it already many times in our request. So we have like a few thousand lines of them, and then one price is 119 times in the in the price list. So I thought, yeah, okay, this is not that handy.
Yeah, some cleaning is necessary, maybe.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if I can change it. But maybe it's nice to use it. But there's always other tricks in Excel to do it, so it's okay. But I thought it was this very nice button, the denormalize.
Yes, I will actually ask why it's not on this. I didn't notice it that it was not on this on this wizard.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new price list, and then I will show you how to download your price list using many different criteria. And the item is one of the criteria you can use actually. Put an item number and see which price list use this item. Okay. So to upload, it's exactly the same. You can validate only if you're unsure of something. So we can say, oh, let's validate the first row because I'm not really sure about this price list. And then we can upload the selection. So it will only check the first one, the one I have highlighted. Again, you can highlight any column. And here it's telling me that it's complete. And everything is validated. So it does the same as when you bring up a user form and close it. Basically, it provides validation.
What is that other thing with the magic wand, clear status?
Oh, so this is to clear the status column. Sometimes you want to start fresh, and when you're doing update on the price list, then you will get some accepted records here. And you would like to do another update on same price list. So you would like to remove all the accepted status because you want to update again. And if the wizard see an accepted status, it won't process anything. It won't try anything.
Oh, okay.
So in this case, you will choose clear status columns, and it will delete everything you have in here. So it's clean. You can actually update again your price list and then re-upload, and it won't tell you, oh, this was in accepted status. I already did something. So
yeah, nice. Yeah, okay.
And you, of course, also have a default values row where I put the create upload mode. So I don't need to enter this against each price list.
Oh,
so
yeah.
in this case, you don't have a create and create all. You need to put it for different levels, but you don't have many sections, many levels in here, because you need to put it at the line level. But for instance, the pricing attributes, it's part of the price list. You don't need to enter an upload action for this. So it's basically only the lines and header. No more than this. And then we're gonna choose upload all this time. So it will upload all our price lists. So even if I didn't started with validation, if I did not validate all my rows, right now it's gonna start with validation. So it will validate all the rows, and then it will upload only the valid records. So as you can see, when I get an error, I see the error message appear. It's also highlighted in red in the sheet so that it will help me correct my mistake. So let's go to the feedback, to the status and messages columns. We can see that most of it was accepted. In the middle, something went wrong. So this price list didn't go through, was not created in Oracle because it was not validated. Only the lines were validated, but not the header. So we got an error here, but the rest was processed. We got another error at the end that we can take a look at after. So here, it's also highlighted in red, so it will help you correct our mistake. And again, we can just bring up the user form to select our currency, or we can just copy paste from a different row. We can just do this too. And then we can just re-upload this row only. It will process. And again, if I highlight a few rows here, or if I upload all, it won't upload the other price list because they have accepted records. And even if you remove the accepted records, like doing this and trying to create again, same thing, it won't work for a few reasons, because the price list name already exists in Oracle. We just created it. So it will tell you, you have a header ID here that has been created, and the wizard brings back the Oracle ID from after creation. So it will tell you, no, I'm not creating this again. So you can't really make a mistake and create the same price list again. Even if I remove this header and the lines, and if I try to create this price list again, it will tell me that this price list name already exists, and we are not supposed to create price lists that have the same name.
Yeah.
So in this case, we have this error message: the price list name has been used. To create a new price list, you have to choose another name.
Yeah.
So yeah, you really have a message that help you correct your data. And so then we can do some maintenance on this price list. So we can, for instance, start with a download from sheet. So we can copy paste a few price list names. You don't need to have gaps between the prices. You can have a list like this, and the wizard will create the gap, of course, between each. if you have gaps or no gaps, it does not matter. And here for the download, you have something important here is this display option. You can choose to have a current effective date or to have current and future price list, effective price list, or to have all. So you can also have a one that were effective in the past. So here I'm going to put current and future. And then you also have this download order option. So you can choose if you want to download by item, by list start date, or just by price list. If you choose none, it will just download by price list order. Okay?
Okay.
And then use this button, download using sheet data.
Okay.
So here what we can do is one common thing is to end date a price list. Like a price list line to end date it and to start with a different price. This is something quite common. So first, if you want to do updates, you need to put the update upload mode. So again, I'm putting this on the default values row, so it's easier. So I put it at the header level and at the line level. So I don't need to worry about this. I have this tab here is only for update for me. And so I put this on the default values row, and I know that I use this template, this particular sheet, for my maintenance. And so now, one of the cool features in this wizard, here to create a new price for this item, you could insert a row and put a new start date and new price, new value, and just end date the first one. But you have a better option here. If you want to end date this price list and the next day start with a new value, we also provide on the same row this column here, create new record value. So here, let's say I want to end date as yesterday, and I would like the next day, so today, to start with a new value. I can put my new value here. So this avoids me to like create a new row, end date this row, create a new row, put a new line start date, and put a new value here. You can do this, all of this on the same row. So here it will do exactly the same. In my price list, it will actually end date this row and create a new row. But I'm saving time here and doing it everything on the same row. So this has been ended, and this will be the new price list the next day after this end date that we put here. And so
that's
here,
always the next day from that date.
yes,
that's automatic. Okay.
Yes, that's automatic. So it's actually saving some time of not like creating a new row and putting this new start date. You can do all this on the same row here.
Yeah, handy. Okay, what did you do on the other lines?
So we didn't do anything, but it's checking all the lines. And when you choose update, here I chose I put the update at on the default values row. So it's actually trying to update everything, but there was nothing to update on the other ones. I could have just keep for the first row, and that was enough.
Yeah. But because they are in the same price list, now it checks them together.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
So what we can do
if you would
also is
make
go
an,
to, sorry?
so if you would make a new extract, then you would have a fifth line because you have now entered that new value. Is that
Yes,
okay?
if I download this again, I would
Yeah.
have this new price starting the next day.
Yeah. Okay.
What we can do also is what you were asking before. We could download choosing the item criteria. So let's bring up the download form. As you can see here, you have multiple options to download. You can use, of course, a price list name like we just did right now. You can use the product context, product attribute, the qualifier. All of this you can do. So
Yes.
here I can say, oh, I would like to download a certain item. I can do this here.
Yes, but that worked. So you just do the number, item number, and then the item code.
Mm-hmm.
But it says from and then to. I have no idea what that's supposed to do.
Okay. Actually, maybe for the item, it would be easier to use a download via sheet. Maybe we can use the download form for something else. From and to is used if you want to download a range of something, a range of anything. We can try with a download form.
Yeah,
Just
but it's okay. You just can you show an example because
So yeah, you have two options if you want to download using the product, the item value. You can either put it here and choose download. It will download this item across all the price list where it appears. Or you can also use the form. So in this case, I'm gonna just select this.
Can you use the from sheet data? Can you use it in any field? Because with the customer wizard, there were only a certain columns that you could use for that. If you hovered over it, you had a little list.
Yeah, that's true. And on this one, we do not provide this. I would say basically you can use anything you have in the download form.
Yeah.
So you have quite a lot of criteria here.
Yeah, that's why I use that one to check, like, is it possible or not. And then I put the item code there, but you say value and then to. Yeah, I was like,
Yes, you
and
have.
also the price list to.
Exactly, because maybe you want to check your range of price list. Maybe you know that all the price lists that are in this range of numbers, you need to update them. For some reason, maybe your price list name for certain things always have the same naming convention. So you can just put like the first one of this kind of price list, the last one, and then you can update all of them. So in this case here, if I want to update only one, I would put that.
Yeah. Oh, I only did it in the left one.
But I really believe for item, it will be actually much faster to put it just on the sheet. It will save you some time. What you could use the download form for is, for instance, a qualifier. Like here we could choose. I had one that was quite good. Let's say you want, or maybe from here to here. I'm not sure if this one exists, but yeah, let's check. If you want to see like certain attributes, it can be useful. So here I downloaded 5 records.
Okay.
And
Well,
then we
there.
can, yes, we can choose to like, in this case, the pricing attributes, you can't do updates, but you can delete an old attribute and create a new one. So you could say, yeah, I want to delete this one and I want to add a new row and just change the administration cost to like 12. And so in this case, it will create this new one.
And you only need to do the updated over there, and it will link it together. That it's the same line. Oh yeah. Nice.
Yes, I have a little doubt about this. I'm not sure if we should repeat this. Maybe you need to repeat the price line for this one.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's been a while I haven't done this particular thing. And then you can upload only this.
Epic disaster game. Oh yeah. Okay.
Okay, so it deleted. Here it's telling you row 32 deleted.
Oh, so okay.
And we got accepted status at the attribute level. So yes, yes. Now I'm sure we need to just repeat this item line.
Okay.
Because it's the attribute goes on it. So now let's do what we wanted to do just before. Download this product. So you just put it there and then download using sheet data, and it will bring up all the price list where you have this item on it. So you can do some maintenance on this price list, maybe remove it from some price list, or what kind of maintenance were you thinking of doing when you have too many price lists with the same item?
No, it's just that I'm still quite new, and I see now that it's like we have a price list for each customer, and I wanted to know if that's always necessary, or maybe we have too many lines. Like I wanted to know if certain items, if they appear in 100 price lists, but 95 times it's the same price, then it shouldn't. Then maybe we have to create one generic price list that has the price for 95 of them, and then only the exceptions of those 5 other ones. But
yes,
yeah, and that was what I wanted to check. So if but for now I'm not sure yet, but I just don't want to be maintaining hundreds and hundreds of lines of prices while they're all the same. So
yeah, definitely.
yeah.
Yes, it makes sense.
Yeah. And also because there's quite a approval flow behind it, and there are a lot of emails going back and forth. So I want to at least make like a request template where we can just create an upload, like a daily upload of the pricing changes, and then only have approvals for those uploads and not for each line and stuff like that. So it's more the approval flow and the logistics behind all price updates that I first want to tackle before I really start also changing the amounts of price lists that we have. But for now, I want to start with at least the process and do it with a uniform template layout that is more usable
Okay.
for us, at least.
Cool. So yeah, you can use this functionality. Definitely, it will help you. So here you could, for instance, put an end date to some price list lines where you see that it's repeated and you don't want to delete the prices, but just remove this item from the price list that is in a lot of different ones. So in here we have like more than 100 times the same item on different price lists.
Oh yeah, and here also you have the same price, I think.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. Yes. So it's not really useful to keep all of those.
Yeah.
The last thing I wanted to show you is download some price lists with price break. So we can take a look at this.
What does that actually mean? Because we are not so sure. What is a price list break that you?
Let me show you. It will be easier to show you. Maybe if you don't know it, it means that you do not use it. So let's go to the section.
I don't know because I don't know what it means. So,
so the price break in Oracle, you choose an item quantity, for instance, and you say if someone buys from this quantity to this quantity, it will break the value by 15%, and it will bring the value to the unit price $15 instead of 20 originally, something like this.
No. Okay.
You do not use this?
No.
Okay.
No. That doesn't mean they don't want to, but I'll write it down and keep it in mind. So it's a price break.
Just wanted to show you that on this section you can do some updates. So you can change, for instance, the new value from and to. You can say, oh, now it's not going to be 20 to 9,999. It's going to be way more than this. We're going to just add a 9 on this, and you can update this price break. And now the item quantity would be this new one. So it's like the first thing I showed you when you can create a new, you don't have to create a new row to do this. You can do this on the same row, like the one we saw before. And it will update only this. Yeah. Do you have any other scenarios that you wanted to take a look at?
Yeah, well, that's what I wanted to ask you. Is it okay that we use a few weeks to practice? Also, Maxime is going on holiday, and then maybe a few weeks from now we have another catch up to ask you some or ask some questions we have. So while using it and trying to find a new modus.
No worries. And you can, in the meantime, also, if you want just to send me emails and with a screenshot, if something you think that I can also help by email, yeah, feel free to reach out. Also, we can do both.
Okay. Well, that's very, very nice. Yeah, because then